Nico, another good run out for the lads. Were you pleased with what you saw out there tonight?
Yeah, exactly what you'd hope to see, I think, at this stage of pre-season. The lads look fit, which is first and foremost after a couple of weeks. There was plenty of good stuff, there was plenty of not so good stuff, which we need to work on and refine as we go through these next few weeks. But everyone's come through it unscathed, and so we're happy enough.
Of course, you want to go into every game and you want to win it, but particularly these early games, it's about the fitness, and you probably improved the fitness levels and saw what perhaps needed to be worked on in that respect tonight.
Yeah, I think that the lads moved pretty well. I think they covered enough ground. There was some good passages of play, but there was also the rustiness and probably the lack of cohesion that you'd expect after time off and off season and building in. It's the end of, we've worked them really hard this week, so it's the end of a long week for them. You could see a little bit of fatigue kicking in towards the end. But yeah, generally speaking, we'll come away from this week. We'll debrief it and we'll move on to next.
I had a little joke about it pre-match with Gary about Perks playing the second half, but actually he played an important role, particularly for the younger players.
It was excellent. I think that it's incredibly difficult to play, talk, coach and still be effective, and he did all of it in the second half, and it helps facilitate those young players that are out there. If we put too many young players in at one point, at one go, it maybe sends the wrong message because the young lads have got to earn the opportunity. But it also it waters down the experience and the nous out there, and it makes it difficult for things to knit together. And I think in the first half we were probably a little bit better out of possession. But with Perks on the pitch in the second half, I think he knitted everything together. He kept everything short. He kept the team linked. And so when he was moving the ball and talking and keeping players in position, it allowed us to be more effective when we moved the ball through the lines. I think he's shattered in there now, and we're a little bit disappointed he didn't do the running after, but we'll probably find him next week on that one.
He'll probably kill me for saying this, but I just saw him and his face was as red as the Exeter City shirt. So
well, it was about 18 degrees today, so he's probably got sunstroke.
Almost 100% passing accuracy until a misplaced one right at the end, but we'll forgive him for that.
He was excellent. When he trained, it's a common role nowadays of having an experienced pro that plays with under 23 teams. So at the top level in the Premier League clubs and the Cat 1 academies, it's a very common thing. Tom Huddleston was doing it for Man U not long ago. Paul McShane, I think it was before him. Is it Jay Spearing does it at Liverpool? So it is a very new but common role in football, and it is interesting for us as a coach when you join in and you see it from a player's point of view. You see the distances better, you see and hear what's going on out there on the pitch a little bit more from just that vantage point at the side or high up in the stands. So it's a legitimate coaching practice. It's credit to Perks that he's fit enough and good enough to still do it, but the guy's won League One several times, so he's a very good role model in that sense to have out there with the players.
Absolutely. It's been a pretty intense start for the players in pre-season in terms of working hard and their fitness levels. Heading down to Cornwall, slightly different week next week, and they'll have the opportunity to relax a little bit. How important will that be for the players?
Oh, I wouldn't use the word relax.
Downtime, we'll say downtime.
No,
maybe.
I wouldn't use that word either. No, they're going to work very hard again next week, but they're going to work hard in a different environment with a few different things that are going on. And part of working hard isn't always just physical. They're going to learn a bit about themselves, they learn a bit about each other. We're going into a long, hard season, and so they need to have that understanding. They need to have each other's backs. They need to know how each other tick and how they can help each other. And next week will give us that opportunity, because we'll spend 3 or 4 days together, 24 hours a day, and yeah, they'll work hard while they're doing it.
And not relaxing.
Absolutely.